Hey everybody, Dylan here from the Tech Dork Times, and today we're talking about the newest games on Xbox Game Pass this month. But if we're just meeting for the first time, then my name's Dylan, and I want to welcome you to the Tech Dork Times, a place for dorks from all walks of life to celebrate gaming, tech, and all things awesome. Thank you so much for stopping by, and let's get into the video. So as always, there are timestamps in the description box below, and agendas right there, so if you see anything there that catches your eye, feel free to jump around the video, no hard feeling. But if you're still with me, then I just wanted to do a quick intro to this video. So just so you know, this is a little bit different than a lot of the other videos I've been doing recently. All the roundups for Xbox Game Pass, the October one and the September one, which you can find at the playlist right there, are the best games I've been playing on the service. So games that I really like and want to eventually do reviews for. But this is a little bit different because these aren't games I necessarily would have picked up other than to try out for this channel to see what the new games on the service are like. I'm just bringing that up because I didn't necessarily love all the games on this roundup here, but I did think it would be valuable to you to bring up all the newest games on the service to help you maximize your membership. Also, I just wanted to give a big bad thank you to every single person watching these videos, whether you're subscribed or not. I love each and every one of you. We have hit 10,000 views, and as of making this video, I'm at 230 subscribers. I'm absolutely blown away. To think that I started this 6 weeks ago and we're already at 230 subscribers completely organically is amazing, and you guys are just the best. The way you're commenting and liking the videos and subscribing to the channel, I'm just so grateful and so humbled by all of you, and hopefully we can just keep growing, so thank you so much. That's about it for this intro. Let's start this list off. These are in no particular order, but let's get started with number one. Coming in at number one, we have Eichenfeld. This is a turn-based RPG with a nice 8-bit art style. Eichenfeld is the perfect addition to a list like this because it's a game I totally would have overlooked if I wasn't doing research for the newest games on the service. And it's a story about a young girl looking for her sister at a magical school called Eichenfeld, not Hogwarts. LOL. What is LOL? Why did I say that? Oh my god. We'll be fine. But yeah, it's a turn-based RPG. You play as this young girl who discovers she has magical powers and starts searching this school to find her sister and fighting all kinds of monsters, collecting all kinds of loot, upgrading your characters, and kicking major butt. My initial impressions of Eichenfeld are all positive. By all extents of the imagination, this game is very much an indie game. So Eichenfeld is a little bit unique in that it's a turn-based game, but it has this reactionary mini-game with every turn. So if you cast a spell or the enemy casts a spell, as soon as the animation for that spell is triggered, you can press the A button, and if you time it just right, you will either maximize your damage to the enemy or minimize it on you if the enemy is the one casting the spell. This adds an element to the combat that's entirely unique in my opinion, and it gives you a reason to pay attention during every turn during the turn-based combat. I love the classic turn-based combat in a lot of RPGs, but this just adds another little flavor to the game, gives me a reason to stay invested in every turn and to really pay attention to my strategy, because if I miss the timing on one of those reactionary games, it could mean the difference between winning a battle or not. So yeah, this is one I would definitely recommend downloading. Eichenfeld is only 350 megabytes, if that, on your Xbox, so not only is it free to download if you have Xbox Game Pass, it's also going to take up very little space on your Xbox hard drive. Win-win. Coming in at number two is Katana Zero, another 8-bit style game. I promise this whole list isn't 8-bit style games, but this just happens to be another one that's been released recently. For those of you that don't know, Katana Zero is a 2D platformer bullet hell style game where you play as a ninja samurai who goes around kicking butt and trying to solve the mystery of his mysterious past. Whew, I was breathless there. I stuck that though. I did. So I tried Katana Zero on Switch back in the day. I did really enjoy it at the time, but the Switch isn't the best for games that require a lot of reactionary skill-based things. But that's not the point of this video. I picked it back up on Xbox, and I really enjoyed it with that controller. It feels much better, it plays much better. I will say though, this game is still very challenging, and not necessarily my bread and butter, because I'm a pretty bad gamer when it comes to skill. There, I said it. I admitted it. I'm terrible at games, but I love them. I do love them. Let me back up here a second. The actual gameplay is a platformer, but the difference here is it's bullet hell, which is a style of game where if you get hit once by an enemy, it's game over. So that gives this game a little bit of a rhythm feel to it, that every stage you have to time the different enemy attacks perfectly to get through it and move on to the rest of the level. The fact that this game requires you to be flawless through every stage is a really interesting proposition because it turns this platformer into something that might have just been a normal kind of platforming hack and slash game into a bit of a rhythm game where you have to adapt to the opponent's styles to avoid all of their attacks so that you can kill everyone and move on. I also just love the style of this game. Obviously it's 8-bit, but it has this sort of VHS feel, like you're actually watching a VHS every time you go through a level. The game shows you a replay of what you've just done, and after a particularly challenging stage, it is so satisfying to watch your handiwork, and it has this nice style to it as well. This isn't a game I think everyone should try, but if you like the look of this in this promo and also are looking for something a bit more challenging and different, then I think this would be a good one to consider downloading. Katana Zero, Xbox Game Pass. Check it out. Coming in at number 3 is Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition. Now this is a JRPG with a lot of buzz behind it. It's a game I've been looking at for a long time, and I considered buying on my Nintendo Switch for quite some time, and then it came to Game Pass just recently, and I thought this is the perfect time to try it out. So I really hate being negative, but I must say this game I was very excited to try out, and I am sorely disappointed. For those of you that don't know, Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition is a very classic JRPG. It's got everything you'd expect from a JRPG, Japanese role-playing game, for those of you that don't know. But the combat system is real-time instead of turn-based. That's a little bit different for a JRPG, but it's a cool mix-up for the genre. But I will say, I was playing through the game, I got 20 minutes in, I was still kind of confused about the combat system, I didn't feel like it had explained it very well, and then I hit a difficulty spike in the form of what I consider to be the first boss in the game. I cannot beat him to save my life, and I am so ashamed. I mean, I'm not a good gamer, and I think I've been very clear about that on this channel, but this game kicked the crap out of me, and I've never experienced that before. I am ashamed to say. Maybe that's a good thing, I don't know. My big problem with this is the game doesn't set you up for success. I went onto a couple forums for this game, Reddit and the like and all that stuff, and everyone's talking about these mechanics in the game, like block cancel animations and stuff like that, that the game does not talk about. My big problem with this game is it sets you up to fail, which feels unfair and a bit too punishing for me. At the end of the day, I've heard a lot of great things about this game. I'm probably the broken one here, not the game. But there are too many good things out there that spell out the combat system, that spell out the gameplay much better, so I'm just going to move on from this one. But I will say, if you are a big fan of this game, drop a comment below and tell me what I'm doing wrong. Tell me why I suck! Again, I'm sorry to all the fanboys of Tales of Vesperia or the Tales of JRPGs in general. I do not mean to crap on one of your favorite games. If it is one of your favorite games, I'm sure it's really great. It just didn't click for me. But definitely check it out if you're looking for something different. That's the great thing about Game Pass. I could be wrong about this, and it's worth checking out. Coming in at number 4 on this list is the game I'm probably most excited about on this list, and that is Brutal Legend starring Jack Black. Yeah, that Jack Black. This was a game that was before my generation, I think, or maybe not, and I just missed it. I think that's maybe more likely. I think I falsely assumed it was a Guitar Hero clone or something like that, but that's only a small part of the game, and a pretty cool one at that. But before I get ahead of myself, let's jump into what Brutal Legend is all about. Brutal Legend follows Jack Black, who plays a roadie who dies horrifically and then wakes up in this heavy metal inspired fantasy world and realizes he needs to help save the world from darkness. Even that alone makes me really excited about this game, so if that doesn't make you excited, maybe skip this one. But I will say, I had no idea this was an action adventure open world game where you have this awesome car that you get to rip around and kill bad guys and help build an army to stop the darkness. Everything about this game oozes charm, the character work is brilliant, Jack Black is fantastic in this game. I saw a review talking about how he weathers the line or balances the line between being totally Jack Black and being a bit more stoic, and I couldn't agree more. It's not just the Jack Black you would expect. He really reins himself in and only lets himself loose at the perfect times. It's such great character work, and the story is one of the reasons I'll keep coming back to this game. The actual gameplay is very much action-adventure, kind of hack and slash. You have a guitar and an axe that you swing around and do all kinds of cool moves with. I will say the combat is a little bit clunky. That's where the game shows its age a little bit, but it wasn't something that turned me off from the game at all. In fact, everything else that's going for the game is so strong that this game was really hard to put down. I knew I had a deadline and I wanted to get all these games played and get some impressions to make this video, and it was hard to pull myself away from this game. But yeah, you basically cruise around this open world looking for allies, looking to save the world. You fight bad guys, you use your guitar as basically a magical weapon. You can play riffs on it that act as spells, and you unlock more of them as you play through the game and discover new riffs. It's a really cool spin on traditional magic systems. I feel like this game was very ahead of its time at the time that it was released, and it's so cool to get to revisit it now. And beyond all of this, the game is so funny. I laughed out loud at least 3 times playing through the first hour of this game. I really hope a lot of people download this and don't get turned off by the fact that it's an Xbox 360 port. It is really, really great, and I highly recommend it. Coming in at number 5, we have the biggest game on this list and a huge content update to the Xbox Game Pass library. I'm convinced this is a really huge deal for the service in general, and that is Destiny 2. For those of you that don't know, Destiny 2 is like Warframe, Diablo, The Division 2. It's very much a looter shooter all about grinding up for new gear and fighting bigger and badder monsters and teaming up with your friends, and it's a blast. So the base game of Destiny 2 has been free for quite some time now, and I did actually pick it up a while back, and it just didn't really click for me. I think I had a bunch of other games going on, so I just got distracted. But now that I've revisited it for the purpose of this video, it really has sunk its teeth in, and I've been playing with my brother, and I've been enjoying the multiplayer aspect a lot. The gunplay is smooth and polished. The matchmaking is crisp and smooth. You never have to wait longer than a few minutes to find people to play the game with. The progression system, the loot is all awesome. The guns all feel very different when you actually get get to try them out. So it really gives you an opportunity to customize your playstyle. And all the story lore that is peppered throughout the game, little cutscenes and different things you can discover through the world, are all really impressive and densely packed. It does feel like a living, breathing world that you get to exist in. The levels themselves are interestingly designed. I've really enjoyed all the missions I've played. I've enjoyed matchmaking. Like I said, it's a really great experience. The community is really friendly as well. And the bosses have really cool mechanics that you have to learn and adapt to. There's also a really cool mode called Gambit or Gambit Prime, which is a mix of PvE and PvP. It's a little bit complicated to explain in this format, but basically you are racing against another team to gather resources, and you can sabotage the other team at intermittent intervals in the game. I have been sleeping on Destiny 2 for far too long. I really enjoyed Marvel Avengers, but playing Destiny 2, I realized that Marvel Avengers took all the systems from Destiny 2 and applied them to that game, and I love Marvel Avengers, but Destiny 2 does it even better. Ultimately, Destiny 2 is an endless well of content. The developers have promised a roadmap moving forward for years to come. It's a great time to jump into the game, especially if you're looking for something that you can play for longer than just one go, something that you can keep revisiting just like an MMO. So those are 5 of the newest games on Xbox Game Pass. I didn't love all of them, but it was super fun putting this video together and trying new games that I wouldn't have otherwise. I hope you found this roundup helpful. Let me know in the comments below which of these games you're most excited for, and if you are a Tales of Vesperia person who loves the game and has played it on different platforms, definitely help me out here. What am I doing wrong? Why am I Kermit the Frog, too? That's about it for this video. If you liked the video, make sure to like the video and consider subscribing to the channel for more content like this. We post game guides, game reviews, and tech guides, and we're doing a particular focus on Xbox Game Pass. So new games on the service, the best games on the service, genre roundups, all that good stuff to help you maximize your membership. Thank you so much for watching. As always, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay dorky.